Jasmine Masters, and I got something to say. For the 14 of you that actually knew what that meant, I applaud you. For the rest of you, you're not drunk enough. Okay? God bless America. Speaking of America, we are in some crazy times, are we not? Gosh, I remember, true story, I remember on the day the election results came out, I was on a cruise in Greece, and the one fucking day in the 2.5 weeks that our Wi-Fi did not work was election day. And I was with Michelle Visage. Now, I was with some other drag queens like Latrice and Jasmine, who was supposed to be there, but she wouldn't get her weed, so she got deported. And some other, who else was on that cruise? There were so many girls on that cruise. Anyway, the point is, the election results didn't come out for us until another 24 hours later. I had breakfast with a German couple that were 1.5 million years old. And they said, I cannot believe, in thick German accents, they're like, I cannot believe that you guys, you Americans are going through this right now. Did you or did you not learn anything from our mistake? And I'm like, And I was like, you crazy German old people. We know what we're doing. We're not gonna let him in office. Meow. Less than 24 hours later, I saw those people again and they just looked at me like, but you did, Blanche. You did vote that asshole into it. And I was like, I didn't. I personally did not. Drag queens would never do that because drag queens are better than most people. It's like the, you know it and I know it, right? You don't get your hair wet, you don't get my hair wet, okay? Because shit gets real, bitch. Shit gets real. You throw one little droplet of water at me or her, you all die. Have you seen the movie Carrie? Like that, everyone dies, including her favorite teacher. Because she's like, bitch, I don't care anymore, I'm wet. Because Carrie was a drag queen. I'm glad we're all following this together. Anyway, the point is, so how many of y'all watch, for comedic reasons, CNN or Trump's tweets? Because, I mean, to be fair, I mean, is it or is it? And sometimes I will tell you that I run into an Alec Baldwin, like, special impersonating Trump, and I'm like, God, he is the craziest mofo right now. They're like, that's not Trump. And I'm like, yeah, but he's better at it. And so it's easier to follow him and be like, you cuckoo bananas, cuckoo. You know, I would rather have Cynthia Lee Fontaine be our president right now. A goddamn thing she says half the time, and I love her just the same. I love her endlessly. So the deal is, I just got back from New York City, and I was doing a week of my show at the Laurie Beachman Theater, which was fabulous and wonderful, and it was 90 degrees, and 90 degrees and drag, they don't go together. They don't, they're like those batteries that are like, you know, or magnets. Whatever. I'm gay, I don't have to do things. So, we leave that to the lesbians. We're like Salt War and World Peace. You're a lesbian, you're a problem solver. Like, they're like, how are we gonna make sex work? I will show you. Like clubs. You learned a lesson today, didn't you? Yeah. Mind you, these ladies are like, bitch, you get me wet, even during sexy time, and I will kill you. I will kill you. If I start sweating too much, I'm like, you gotta stop. Turn the air conditioning on, or you should leave. I know it's your apartment, but I need to cool off first. Am I wrong? I'm not wrong. I know I'm never wrong. Now the point is, Trump, if that's his Christian name, well, I highly doubt he was ever baptized. I mean, my parents are Pentecostal ministers, and my mother... Oh, I thought you said boo. I was like, bitch, look at my Christian hair. I will kill you for free. Now, my mother, who is like, votes Republican for everything, unless you seem like a bad person. And my mother recently came out, if you will, and said, I couldn't vote for him. He seemed, what do you call it, shady. And I said, Mom, is this exact bitch? I'm having a show. There's always one bitch. It's like, I have something to say now! You're like, no one paid to see your whole move. Too real? Okay, back to Trump. Okay. So anyway, the point is, Trump tweeted that what's happening right now with everybody pointing fingers and saying like, you know, you're giving away classified information to Russia. No, no. And he's like, this is a witch hunt. The biggest witch hunt America has ever seen. And I am a historian. You might not know this, but I'm a drag queen, and every drag queen is really smart except like 2 or 3. But you know, we all have degrees and things like that. And then we decided, you know where the real money is? Drag. So we did that instead. And the point is, I don't know if Trump has ever heard, but you know, of the Salem witch trials. They're actually called the Salem witch trials. I'm like, the biggest ones? I don't know, we wrote a play about it. It's called The Crucible. I made it up. And also McCarthyism, heard of it? It's the 1950s. It was a nightmare for anyone that was a little subversive or like, you know, under the radar. You couldn't be anybody. Russia, you know, God bless Russia. Anyway, the point is, I love Katya. And if you're going to be a Russian in America right now, be a Katya. Or if you can't be a Katya, be the Russian spy Sasha Velour. Winner tonight. And if you haven't tweeted her already and said, God bless you, don't say God bless Russia, because people will probably misconstrue that, because people don't read things, because they're all idiots and they don't have degrees. They're not drag queens. Drag queens are like, I got you, girl, I got you. And if somebody's coming for you, I will rip my wig off and I will them in the throat with my stiletto. It's called a tracheotomy. Look it up. Anyway, so how many of y'all came here to see a great drag show? I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm kidding. However, our next performer is. Are you back there? Are you up there? Okay, thank you. Thank you for. No, don't point her out. She's hiding. But you did. It's like, I wasn't trying to point her out even though I was doing this, bitch. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wear a white wedding gown at your wedding. Okay? That'll learn you. That'll learn you. Yeah. What were you supposed to do? You're supposed to be like, You're supposed to make a noise like, which is the noise I make so the security knows that someone's bothering me. So if I ever do that when I'm talking to you, you're like, what the fuck was that? And then you're suddenly outside because we're too drunk to remember everything that happened in between. Yeah, you were bothering me. And I made sure you were escorted outside. But I took your wallet because times are rough. Anyway, it's a Handmaid's Tale, bitch. It's a Handmaid's Tale. Yeah. Thank you for the educated table right there that actually understood that joke. The rest of you get a Hulu account and look it up. Okay? So our next performer is one of my favorite drag queens. Well, everybody in the show is one of my favorite drag queens because we don't have shitty drag queens in Seattle. We have educated, smart drag queens. Yeah, actually there's one that I don't like, but I think she's dead. I haven't seen her face in a while. So, I'm kidding. Oh my god. Trump's America. Can't I make a joke anymore? You're a little loud. Not everything that comes in or out of a drag queen's mouth is shade. Thank you, the one girl that heard the come in a mouth joke. Everybody else was like, what just happened? Liza Minnelli. Ladies and gentlemen, our next drag performer is going to make sure that you are all standing in the middle or by the end of her number because you're going to be so enthralled. Are you hurt? What happened? Did he beat you? Or were you given too many hands? Your poor legs, you got carpal tunnel. That is a job hazard, bitch. Yeah. You gotta wear that while doing it. Just make sure there's like a flesh jack on the inside of your hand, so the man never notices. Did you ever see that YouTube of the woman that explains how to give good head, but you gotta have an orange around the guy's dick? It's the most disgusting video you'll ever see. However, informative. And the man doesn't know, and then he walks away smelling like oranges, and he's like, hey, I'm attracted to this, I'm not sure why. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the beautiful, the lovely, I haven't said it yet. There's always a woo girl in the front row. Ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite drag queens, Amora Dior.